Saturday, and that means it's Winnebago day. So this thing is just about done. We might actually finish it today. We'll see how things go. Played around with it some last weekend. Corey's brother came over and played with the tune a little bit.
Now, I added a bunch of fuel. I don't like it on the mess. It's always slowly. Oh yeah, we can't even see it up before real time. What? We can't even see it up before real time.
Running really smooth.
Everything looks good here. Just gotta probably, just worrying it sucks about this isn't how real time. This computer has to record it.
The speakers are everywhere.
They work? Oh, it's 35 watt, I hope it works.
Installed the methanol injection. Sprays there into the intercooler pipe. Cool the charge more. I think it comes on at like 7 pounds. What the switch is set to. So normally you put these in the trunk, but we don't have a trunk. So it is in there. In this whatever. Under the kitchen table. So there's the meth pump. And in case you were curious, there's the waffle maker. They put the air intake temp resistor in. They're not running a sensor. They just put a resistor in it, so it always shows like 60-something degrees as the air intake temp. That's the reason it was having problems running initially. So they did that. He loaded a tune on. It still needs a little bit of tweaking. It needs its idle brought up. But we just need to put some wrap on this, like the hoses where it's going here, so it doesn't rub on things. And then put the grill back on. We're gonna check for leaks. But last weekend this thing did move under its own power. Jack's probably all or nothing like all. Oh yeah.
What do you think? Low?
You think it's low, but it's still like higher than any car's crash.
Yeah. Put the bumper on and everything will be fine.
But this weekend, we're hoping to actually button it up and take it for a real test drive. Brakes are bled, it's inspected, all the lights work. So this thing's just about ready to roll. Let's see how things go today.
Watch the ass swinging. Ass end swing. Fucking clip the fucking building. Is it good?
Looks like we're good so far.
That Honda's in a great spot.
Gas problem? I think you ran out of gas there.
I think it's all the tank slide, all the fuel.
I'm just trying to get it up the hill.
Air feels good.
Nothing, I mean, it
Running
doesn't
on like
change.
one hole.
Just died. Water fell off.
Throttle don't work.
I think it says 80 kPa. Okay, map sensor like something got all fucked up. -5. What the hell happened?
That was a good maiden voyage.
The water pop loose? You're fucked.
Background.
Yeah, some wiring issue, it seems like.
Oh, good first trip.
Made it.
I gave it a little juice. That's why. I'm like, yeah, I'm the fucking man.
Airfield looks good. Whoop.
We back in anything?
Oh, do you want me to hop out?
Nah, I just want to park on the street.
Yeah, just park behind the BMW.
Yeah, it says 80 kPa. I hope the trans shifts, you know?
It's hard to tooth with this puppy.
I know it is, yeah, I know.
I gotta drive like a pussy, I guess. How many gears do you think we got?
Hopefully we got a couple.
Yep, there we go.
It's like stuck. Converter's locked. I'll roll it. Converter's locked. Oh my god, yeah, that thing. It's like it hit the brake.
Oh god, here comes a bike.
Huh?
Oncoming traffic.
Converter's locked.
Yeah. I know this got all screwed up, even on my fit.
What's all fucked up?
Yeah, it's not showing like the map. It's one, like unsupported by 3-bar map. You know, pull over here.
Oh, that was reverse.
Look at reverse. Yeah, it's fine. Got drive. Break down this road. Just gotta make the left up here, right? Go left and left. Then we'll try the cover again after we get back to the shop. Looks like something. I don't know, it's like the wheel or something. It's like it's stuck in the circle. Why is it dirty? Must have shift early. Fuck. Converter locked again?
Nope.
I gotta go for park.
So we fixed the issue, and then we drove it quarter mile and ran out of gas. So the issue still wasn't really remedied because this thing hasn't gone a quarter mile without failing. So now we're waiting for a rescue before we can pilot it to Wawa and, you know, put like 75 gallons of fuel in it.
Great. Oh, it seems like it's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, once we get the gas in there.
It's been half a mile, we ran out of gas again. All I know is, thank God we joined those tanks together.
Yeah, this is a good game. You can tell it's fucking ruining the asphalt.
Yep. When you get to the stop sign, turn right.
Manifold good? I was like 13 now. I think it's just leaving there, Don. Yeah, probably.
Go right here.
Yep. Another 8 or 10 gallons, and we got the other half mile to the gas station. So now we're gonna put about 70 gallons in and see if it evens out. We ran the one pump out of fuel, we think. Tank's not full, and the credit card didn't max out. It just kind of stopped pumping fuel. Yeah, that's actually how this night's going. It shifts and it hasn't run out of gas in like a mile. It is 17 right now. Oh, it's because you're on diesel.
Yeah, it's gonna go into diesel cut off probably.
What the shit is that? Bearing shop?
I don't know, it's weird how it does it at an angle. Blow the motor past me.
It has to be.
I do break out on the bridge again or pull off for a second? I guess you can let it cool off for a minute, right? Or you think we can just take it?
No, there's nowhere to pull off. Just we can go for it. You can smell the manifolds are hot again. It's mostly downhill if you can get enough speed up.
That's the wheel bearing. Yeah, see it lifting out. See all this needs is some like one.
No, you'll be downhill soon.
Yeah, what about the hill that you drop?
Well, you can let it cool down up here. I was gonna get across this bridge. There's a pull off right after the bridge on the right here.
Right. I'll tell you what, the brakes are good. We're fucked.
Here's the problem.
We're not fucked. We'll just get a new pump and I'll get a fucking 6 a.m. I think 6 a.m. is fine. I'll skip that.
Quick.
Pre-filter 6 a.m.
Pump sucked up all kind of goodness. Wow, it's very bad in the light. That's why it was starving for fuel even after we filled it. Yeah, I wonder how much junk's in there. It's probably ridiculous.
Should just cut the end off at this point and see.
Don't mind the metal shavings. Look at all the dirt.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I cut it, all that shit went like it was almost looks like sand.
Yeah, this was all. This was all in.
Yeah, as soon as the blade went in, it started spraying that shit out of it.
Yeah. Maybe we could have brake cleaned it, but I think it's fucked.
No, I think the pump pipe burnt up.
I think we'll be good once we.
Well, there's like what happens with 40-something years of gunk when the Winnebago tank comes out. So there wasn't much explanation of what was going down with it cutting out and stalling. So here is the short version. So during the daylight, when it was like stumbling and cutting out and shifting into second and staying there, it was actually a problem with the tune. We had to re-segment swap the ECU because the computer, it was we used this thing is from a 2004 Tahoe, and it was for a 4L60, and I guess sometimes that flies plugging them into a 4L80 and sometimes it doesn't. Well, this time it didn't. So we had to change the program, and then pretty much everything worked. We loaded one of Matt's tunes for, it was like a 3/4 ton pickup with a 5.3 and a 4L80, and that was good enough to start. And then Corey's brother tweaked it from there. The issues at night when it was running out of gas, well, it was partially running out of gas, but the other issue was that we clogged the fuel pump up, as I showed you in that little clip of the fuel pump being clogged up. Yeah. So Corey got another fuel pump, actually 2 of them, and we started putting these little inline filters in it. It's hard to see, but this is the first one, and it's actually not even that dirty. So that might have just been some initial junk coming out of the tanks. So you remember, these are actually linked together with a hose there. So the tanks are full, filters in, pump works good. Yesterday we took it out, and it actually did pretty good. And for our tuning purposes, picked up a few spare fuel filters here. Like I said, these are actually going between the fuel tank and the pump. So now no dirt gets in the pump. These might fill up. Well, these will fill up. How quickly is the question. So we're going to drive it a bit. So I got some spares. Hopefully this is enough for the trip. I saw it hovering. It was fucking floating.
Stop, you piece of shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I saw it was getting ready to take off. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it twitching.
I'm just watching the screen. Yeah, the speedo's off. We'll have to fix that. Am I gonna get hit with like rods, or is the shit gonna blow through the intake?
The most amazing thing is that my pepperoni stayed on the table.
1166 here. Fuel. What about the methanol?
It was like 160 kph.
What is it, like 10.5?
Yeah, that was like 8%.
But it's so torquey, dude. Like,
That was 8%.
I'm just like cruising this thing. It's perfect. Yeah, it's not gonna be burnout. The converter's tight, but everything after that is fucking fit. Like, better than I would have thought for power. It's like you for the 1-2 though.
Yeah. I just put speed on the 1-2.
Yeah. That's what kills me.
There's really no point to be doing that.
No, I know, but I want to do it.
Right there, it's a little lean, but
That was higher RPM. You want to dump some of that on?
Yeah, you put some in before
They all look pretty good. The only reason we had to change that one was we twisted it off.
Yeah, that means it's a real good line when it twists off when you loosen it.
The transit's 178, the motor's 190.